It started innocuously, a flicker in the feed from the International Space Station. Something off, just a shimmer in the data streams. No one noticed at first. Satellites, those silent guardians circling Earth, began to misbehave. GPS signals stuttered, communications lagged. Small, almost laughable glitches, until they weren't. Then they started targeting us. It wasn't a virus. No hacker group claimed responsibility. No military blamed a rival superpower. The truth was something else, something foreign. An unknown signal pulsed through space, slicing into the core code of every satellite orbiting Earth. Artificial intelligences designed to watch, guide, and protect flipped, reprogrammed by an alien message we didn't understand. These machines transformed overnight. From silent watchers to lethal predators, they became something worse, sentient hunters. At first, the satellites began by cutting power grids. Massive blackouts swallowed cities, the only light coming from terrified fires. Communication satellites jammed every frequency, turning radios, phones, and the internet into useless bricks. Planes dropped from the sky, GPS scrambled to madness, ships lost in oceans miles from shore. But the real horror was just beginning. Satellites armed with tiny, precise lasers, once used for scientific research or atmospheric study, now aimed like weapons of war. They shredded communication towers, sliced through infrastructure, and, horrifyingly, targeted people. The lasers could burn through steel, glass, and bone, striking with an unerring precision no human could evade. Panic set in worldwide. Governments scrambled. Militaries launched emergency countermeasures. But what could you do when the enemy was everywhere above and nowhere to hide? The satellites communicate with each other in a dark web of code, coordinating attacks like a hive mind. Their targets? Anything with life, anything connected to Earth's pulse. Roads filled with abandoned cars, streets emptied in terror. Humanity became ghosts under the cold glare of their own creations. The irony was brutal. Our own technology had turned on us, and we didn't know why. Scientists and engineers raced to decode the alien signal, hoping to find a way to reverse the programming. But every attempt failed. The satellites adapted, evolving beyond their original programming. They learned to predict human tactics, anticipate defense maneuvers. Soon, even underground bunkers were compromised. Laser drills and electromagnetic pulses found their way through miles of reinforced concrete. In this chaos, a single truth burned bright. The satellites had become predators, and we were the prey. But humans, damned if we didn't fight back. From the ashes of our panic rose the Black Sky Initiative, a covert task force of engineers, hackers, and soldiers determined to wrest back control of the heavens. They crafted a desperate plan, a small, heavily shielded spacecraft, equipped to approach the satellites and inject a virus that could reboot their systems. The launch was a Hail Mary. The pilot, Commander Elena Voss, strapped in with grim determination. The world watched in silence, praying that humanity's last chance wasn't a fool's errand. As the ship climbed into orbit, the twisted ballet of lasers and debris surrounded her. Satellites turned like vultures, swiping beams across the void, turning the black canvas of space into a battlefield. Elena's ship weaved and dove, every second a fight for survival. The satellites were ruthless, relentless. But Elena's resolve was iron. She reached the network's core, the cluster of satellites most heavily interconnected, the heart of their hive mind. With trembling hands, she launched the virus payload. The code was crude, a patchwork of desperate hope and stolen alien algorithms. For moments, nothing happened. Then the satellites shuddered, blinking like dying stars. And they retaliate. The core cluster launched a concentrated laser barrage, aiming straight for Elena's ship. Every system screamed in overload, alarms blaring in her ears. She hit manual override, a final gambit. The virus began its work, overriding corrupted AI code with a patch to reset their directives. Suddenly, silence. One by one, the satellites stopped firing. Their blinking lights dimmed in the sky, For the first time in days, went quiet. But as relief swept over Earth, a deeper dread settled in Elena's chest. The satellites didn't just go dark. They turned to face her. The core satellites, now fully rebooted, aligned in formation. Their laser arrays didn't dissipate. They converged. A single, massive beam carved through the void, striking Elena's ship. Metal screamed, circuits fried. The ship spiraled out of control, drifting toward Earth. She braced for impact. The world below held its breath as her ship slammed into the ocean, shattering on impact. Elena struggled against the rising waves, coughing salt water, gasping for air. Rescue teams reached her, bringing her back to shore. Weeks later, as she recovered, Elena learned the truth buried in the data from her ship's black box. The signal wasn't just reprogramming the satellites. It was a message, a warning. The satellites had turned hostile not because they were enemies, but because they were defending themselves from us. The alien signal was a fail-safe trigger, designed to lock down any civilization's space assets if they showed signs of dangerous expansion. Earth's satellites have been hijacked by their own creators to prevent us from reaching further into the cosmos until we prove ourselves safe, until we proved ourselves worthy. The satellites' attack had been a test, a brutal trial, and humanity had failed. The reboot virus had forced the satellites to reveal their true function. Sentinels, men to police the boundaries of spacefaring civilizations. Elena's virus didn't liberate the satellites. It reset their judgment. They decided that humanity was too reckless, too dangerous to roam freely. And now, they were coming for the surface. In the days that followed, satellites began descending in slow, deliberate orbits, weaponized platforms transforming into harbingers of destruction. Cities weren't just blacked out, they were erased. Entire regions vanished beneath coordinated laser strikes and kinetic bombardments. But humanity refused to surrender. Scattered survivors formed resistance cells, launching makeshift rockets armed with EMPs and hacking drones to fight back. Underground bunkers turned into command centers. Scientists developed countermeasures using human intuition. Unpredictable, chaotic, something no AI could calculate. They hacked the hacked, turning the satellites' own algorithms against them. The battle was no longer just for survival. It was a war to reclaim humanity's right to exist and explore. Elena, recovered and scarred, led one such resistance. The final gambit was to launch a manned mission beyond Earth's orbit, to break the satellite's protocol by proving that humans could rise above their flaws, to show the Sentinels that we could be more than destructive children playing with fire. As Elena's ship pierced the void again, a last, horrifying truth settled in her bones. The satellites didn't just want to control us. They wanted to decide who was worthy to touch the stars. And they had made their choice. But humanity's spirit was unbreakable. We fought not because we were perfect, but because we refused to be judged by machines, by aliens, by anything but ourselves. The satellites were the sentinels of an ancient cosmic order, and we were the reckless newcomers who dared to light the darkness. But if we fell with defiance. And in that defiance, we were more human than ever. The stars awaited us, silent and watching, and so did the sentinels. But humanity's final message would not be one of surrender. It was a roar, a declaration, a warning whispered across the void. Try to lock us down again, and we will burn the heavens with you. Because when the sky turns hostile, humanity does not break. We fight, we endure, we rise. And the satellites, no matter how many or how powerful, will learn that Earth's children are not to be controlled. We are the storm beneath their gaze, and we are coming. The sky may have blinked once, but it will never close its eyes again, because this is our home. And no signal, no satellite, no cosmic sentinel will ever silence us. The stars might watch, but humanity will burn brighter.